Hey guys, it is Cthulthu here. Now, I wanted to make this Ripper Demon guide very quickly for you. I've noticed that a lot of people have been making this guide. You're probably thinking this is all the same. It is not the same. It is worth watching if you're going to be killing Ripper Demons. The reason being, the reason I really wanted to make this video in the low quality that I'm doing it in, is because a lot of people are missing some key details, and they're missing these key details because they're not doing the research, they're not killing them long enough before they're making their video, and that's because they want to get their videos out on day one so they get the most views, and I understand that, but that's not me anymore. So I wanted to make this guide because you'll learn something from it. There is only really one thing that I need to say, and then I'll mention everything else at the end, so if you want to then stay on and watch the full guide, then please do so. The video isn't anything special. I'm not going to be talking about things as it happens in the video, so just watch the video and then refer to it as I speak. The one key thing that people are not mentioning is how the jump mechanic works, and it's quite simple. The Ripper Demons always jump to the west, and that's it. That's all you needed to know. Basically, as long as you run to the east, you will be fine, and you don't have to run too far. Literally, you can just run 2 spaces to the east and you'll be fine. The reason why 2 is probably the bare minimum is because if they're against a western wall, in which case they can't jump any further west, they'll jump north or they will jump south of where they are. They may even jump northwest or southwest, depending on what the position is. But regardless, they will not jump east, which allows you to jump east. A lot of people have obviously not known this. This is why a lot of people have been dying. It's because they've been running around randomly. Because it's not just good enough to know that they will jump and they will KO you if you don't run far enough. The important aspect is knowing where to run. So as long as you don't run to the west, I mean you can do, but you have to then firstly react very quickly, and secondly you have to make sure that you're a fair distance away from the point at which you start at, because obviously you're running under the Ripper Demon firstly, which is one square that you shouldn't have to run, and then you're running the second square, and that is still the danger zone. That is the danger zone still. And then you're running a third square, and that's when you start to become sort of safe, and then a fourth square, and that's where you're definitely safe. And basically a lot of people are cutting it close to the point where they will escape a few times, but they will eventually die. So yeah, that's all you really need to know. If there is space to the west, you just have to run the 1 square to the east, so you're basically not within melee distance anymore. And if they are against the west wall, then you jump twice. You run 2 squares, so that if it goes north or south, it still won't catch you from going 1. To be honest, actually, I don't even know if that's necessary, but just be safe, guys. There's no point taking the risk. Run 2 squares at very least to the east, and you'll be fine. Now to mention everything else, when does the jump happen? The jump happens after the adrenaline bar is full. It won't happen exactly at that moment. It can happen any point after that moment, but it will, well, no, I was going to say it will inevitably happen. Of course, it might never happen. You might kill it before it chooses to use it. The only thing that is for certain is that it won't happen before the adrenaline bar is full. So you've then got a good chance to get distracted by things like making sure you're overloaded, you've got your weapon poison, you've got good HP, you've got good prayer, etc. If you're going to get distracted, make sure it's before the adrenaline bar is full. Get everything done then. Get your bleeds underway as well, where you've got to then right click and click walk here under it. I don't know if there's an easier way to make those bleeds multiply by walking under it, but that's the way I have to do it. I have to right click under it and then walk here. But that's the kind of distraction I want to get over and done with as soon as possible. That won't necessarily stop me from doing it once the adrenaline bar is full, but hey, if you want to reduce risk, that's the point at which you do it. And then that way you can just concentrate on when it jumps. And to be fair, you don't even have to concentrate that hard for the jump, because it still gives you plenty of time as long as you know where you're running, and you have a plan, and that's fine. And actually, one thing that you should maybe look out for is making sure that wherever you've got your mouse hovering over towards the east when you eventually click there to avoid the jump, just make sure you're not attacking another Ripper Demon. And to that effect, actually, one extra tip I have for you is use the second room. If you see me in the second room, then don't use the room at all. Just jump world or stay in the first room. But if I'm not there, then you are more than welcome to use the second room. The second room has 3 Ripper Demons. The reason I suggest you kill there is simply because there's less chance of you clicking on another Ripper Demon, because it is less populated. Quite simple. The other thing I guess you need to know, though you don't really need to know because it's really quite obvious, is that when the Ripper Demon dies, it will do this cyclone kind of thing. And you just have to be outside of melee distance for you to avoid that damage. Nice and simple. Any other tips are the tips that you'll see on the other guides, which is make sure you use weapon poison because, it's just an advantage. Second of all, forget about using things like yak for God's sake. So what if you have to bank a little bit more than usual? Just go and bank and use a steel titan like a normal person. Obviously give yourself the best chance of killing the Ripper Demon as quickly as possible, so you don't even have to be bothered with the jump mechanic at all. I mean, I was going to say 5 times out of 10 instead of 1 in 2. I don't know why, but yeah, 1 in 2, probably even more than that. 2 in 3 kills. I don't even have to bother with the jump mechanic, and that's without a Slayer task. With a Slayer task, it's probably even easier to kill it before the jump mechanic even becomes a thing. So yeah, give yourself a best chance of killing it. I'd even go as far as to say use Torva maybe. No, don't go T90. That's just such a waste of money for something like that. The only reason I have T90 is because people would just laugh me off if I tried to join a Yakamaru group without T90, even though it's just not necessary. It's just people being sheep, basically. One person says, yeah, you have to have T90. Everyone says that you have to have T90, even though it makes literally no difference at all to the kill. I guess it maybe is a bit of a risk prevention, give yourself a better chance of people surviving if they screw up, but still I think it's a bit ridiculous. I don't even think you need a 10-man team to kill Yakamaru, nowhere even close. Anyway, I digress. T90 not necessary. Torva, definitely. Give yourself a little added attack bonus while not needing as much defense as you would have with Tetsu, but I'm using Tetsu in this one anyway. And healing equipment, I've got Vampirism, Scrimshaw, Vampirism, Aura. I like using those 2 things because it just gives me less to have to focus on. I barely have to use food ever. It gives me a bit more time. I certainly don't need a bloody yak. And yeah, I guess that's it. Is there much more to say? Probably not. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. So guys, I hope you have a good time killing Ripper Demons. One thing I should actually also say is a lot of people are put off by the high drop rate, or rather the low drop rate of the Wyverns and the Ripper Demons. But one thing I've got to say, Ripper Demons are so easy to kill, and the chance of making some really decent money is quite good, even if it is 1 in 10,000. So guys, don't get put off by that kind of thing. Just remember that 1, it's not necessarily going to take you 10,000 kills to get the drop, and 2, you're never going to get the drop if you don't give yourself the opportunity. So go ahead, give yourself the opportunity, even if it means killing them for only 10-20 minutes. Give them a try if you haven't already. Give them a try even if you have given them a try, but now you've learned something from this video. And let me know if you get lucky. Good luck, guys. And remember, if you see me on one of those worlds killing them, then don't use the second room. Leave me alone. Goodbye.